hands up if you want to see my anime collection. Let's go! Hey YouTube, welcome to the channel, welcome back to the channel, Bambino. It's just not really a planned video. I've been rearranging my games room, as you can probably tell by looking behind, so quick pan there. So my fight sticks are on the shelf now. Then I've got, you see that side, it's got a long way to go. So I bought a new Billy bookshelf. And I bought 4 new shelves, so an extra shelf per unit, okay? You'll have a closer look when I do my games room tour, you know? So I was rearranging, and I was in the mood to do a video, and I was like, what shall I talk about? And something I haven't talked about, or I don't think I've talked about on the channel yet, is my anime collection. So I was just having a bit of a rearrange, and I tell you what, I've got a lot of anime in my collection I haven't got round to watching yet. So, I thought, well, let's just talk about my anime. This isn't a top 3 Thursday or anything like that. This is just off the cuff. Got a pile of them here. God knows how many I've got. And, just have a little chat, a little chatty video. So, the first ever anime I watched, I wasn't big. I'm not going to pretend I was big into anime in the 80s, in the 90s, even really the 2000s. There's a couple of movies I'd watched, like the one that's not in my collection then, Spirited Away. I used to have that, but I don't know where it's gone, so maybe I've sold it or something. But yeah, that stayed with me, and I think that's on Netflix, isn't it? It's, the more you watch it, the better it gets. It's one of those movies. So I didn't really get into it. The first anime I ever saw was Street Fighter 2, the movie. I think this came out in 1994, and I must have watched this, I think I was in college, so you're talking late 90s. Surprise, surprise, obviously I'm into my Street Fighter, so if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have watched it. Really enjoyed it. It's a better story than the movie. It's very like the actual live action movie, the Jean-Claude Van Damme version I'm talking about. Much better story, and it's very iconic, all the characters. It's a really high production, I want to say, anime. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that, but it didn't really get me into any of the other animes. I was aware of, I'd seen posters, or people had t-shirts of Akira and stuff like that, so I was aware of what it was. But maybe it was because none of my mates at the time were really into it. It wasn't big business like it is today, It's quite very niche back then. But yeah, I was more interested in other things, But that was the first anime I ever watched, and it took me until last week to finally watch Street Fighter Alpha, the movie. It's okay. It's nowhere near as good as Street Fighter the movie, but it's quite, a lot of the fighting is kind of off camera. It'll like flick to another person's reaction, like Chun-Li will be going, oh my gosh, and you can hear the kicks and punches going on in the background. That's what I thought anyway, and it's like a cheaper, maybe they didn't have the budget or something like that. I do like the art style of it, but again, it's hard. It's not really fair to compare it to Street Fighter the movie, or Street Fighter 2 the movie, I should say. But yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. My latest, I'll show you my posters as well. Check out my posters. I'm just gonna click off. You got to check out, because if you're new, or if you're a fan of the channel, this is my Street Fighter. I paid £4 for this, okay? And surprised, it really was surprising. It came with 2 posters, and they're both framed and up on the wall where they need to be, okay? So bear with, check these out. Okay, so as promised, this is my Street Fighter 4 poster. Check that bad boy out. It looks absolutely stunning. I'm really glad I went for the black frame. I was tempted to go for the white frame. Like if you look Godzilla, he's in the white frame, but I just think it pops even better with the black frame, you know. And as promised, I'll show you the other one. Sorry about the mess in my games room. I'll show you a bit more about that in a sec. Yeah, so that's the other one. It's just Street Fighter. I think it should say Street Fighter 2 on there, but it is official. It is officially Capcom, you know. Yes, I'm really happy they're where they belong. I couldn't resist. I couldn't wait to get them framed and up on the wall, you know. And then this is the new part. If you look at the corner there, I've squeezed. It was like kind of like a dead space. I used to have like my King of Fighters t-shirt hanging up, so I just pushed them up together. That's my new Billy bookcase. And the shelves, like each bookcase I bought an extra shelf, so I got 4 extra shelves, so it looks a lot. Again, this is an exclusive look at the games room, because I'll do a full games room tour. Okay, back to the video. There we go, we're back, okay. So I just give you a quick tour, a flying visit, as they say. Yeah, so this is my latest in the collection. I did start watching, so obviously I've just said I've watched that, but Generations, yeah, I've seen that before. That's not that good, okay, but it's in the collection. Generations is very similar to the movie, so I was like, I've just watched the Street Fighter of it, but yeah, so my DVDs are everywhere. I really enjoyed that. I watched that when it first came out, but that, as far as what I could tell, is almost scene by scene kind of a copy of that. So I don't know which, maybe that was after that, I don't know. But because I didn't watch the same movie twice, you know, in a short space of time. So I'm really happy with this collection. This will probably be my best pickup of the year, because I had those 2 posters with it as well. Right, I'll put them there. And another recent pickup is on the VHS. So again, this is me with my collector's cap on. I have got a VHS player, but what I'm going to do is, it's on the original TV stand, so it's a bit lower. So I'm going to get rid of the stand, put one of my plasma telly's going in the bedroom, so I can watch more movies when I'm in bed. And then that telly's going up. That's the plan anyway, because I've got the Master System gun now, haven't I? But yeah, so I've got those as well. I haven't watched them yet, but like, look at that. I remember seeing that in the video shops. That is artwork. That's iconic artwork, that is, okay? So I've got a pile here then of everything I've seen. Have I watched them all the way through? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen every single one of these. So that's a pile there. And I'm pretty confident everything else I haven't got round to watching, or I'm part the way through kind of thing. But yeah, so let's start at the top then. Cowboy Bebop, the movie. Really late to the party on this. I got into this. It was so late. I was aware of it, but I didn't like the look of it. I thought, nah, it's not for me. And then when Netflix announced they were doing the live action series, which I enjoyed, but it was like an outpour of hatred, and it was outrage and all this. Oh, they've changed this, they've changed that. So I thought, there is a really passionate fan base for this. So I thought I'll watch it. This was $3.99, $4.99 in HMV. And even the soundtrack from the start was amazing. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. This is miles better than the live action, but I still enjoyed it. Maybe because I watched that first. But yeah, really strongly recommend that. If you're going to watch, well, I wouldn't say if you can watch one, watch that. This is definitely in my top 10 favourite animes of all time, easily. One Punch Man Season 2. I did own Season 1, but it's on Netflix, and I thought I'd rather watch it on my iPad anyway. So I got rid of that. I was waiting for, years for this to come on Netflix, or them to announce Season 2's coming, and they just weren't. So I just bought, I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to buy it. And it's not as good as Season 1, but looking back, there's some really funny characters in there, as you'd expect. Some things, I don't like the they've taken a step back from all the action or the violence of season 1, but they haven't. But the story's still there, you know. It's still, but it's not as epic. Season 1 was perfect. I wouldn't change anything about it. It's funny. It's really cool characters. Can kind of relate to some of them. It's definitely one of the characters in this I can relate to. You know, the guy that's into his gaming. Sure, you can all relate to him at some point. Yes, that's One Punch Man season 2. Okay, I've got Berserk. This cost me a couple of quid. This is the complete collection. So this is the original story of Berserk. And I've got, just off camera, I think I've got volumes 1 to 7. So it's a stack of books like that. Because they're like 500 to 700 pages each volume, aren't they? They're like deluxe edition. I need to catch up on them actually. Because they're after the movie or this series. So it's amazing, but it's quite dated, okay? I don't know when this was originally came out. I can't see a date on there. It must be in tiny writing. But, yeah, if you see this out there, definitely pick it up. Guts, he needs to be in a Soul Calibur game, doesn't he? Oh my god, how good would he be in Soul Calibur? He's tailor-made for it, you know? Princess, I only recently watched this, Princess Mononoke. I bought this, then I realised it was on Netflix, so I didn't pay a lot for it. This is obviously on DVD, and yeah, it was really, I love the art style to it. It's gory, but it's like, sometimes it feels like I'm watching a kid's movie, then other parts it's like, fucking hell. So, yeah, really, 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 really good. Similar artwork. I'm not sure if it's the same developers, but it's a Studio Ghibli movie. Again, this is on Netflix as well. Nizukia, blah, 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 blah. I can't pronounce. Sorry, I struggle to pronounce some words. Okay, I can't help it. I agree with that. It says a joy to watch on the back. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. It's quite a sad story. It's set in the future. It's quite a grim future. And it's like clans or factions, I suppose. And like the people, the clan she's from, she's like, I think she's like the princess or something. And they're all about nature and helping. And they like not to spread disease by aggression. They've got their way. They're like the old way. And then there's these space ships, I suppose, these airships get involved, and it all kicks off. So it's quite sad, but yeah, it really is a joy to watch. That is okay. Oh no, this blew me away how good this was. Ninja Scroll. Now I'd watched a documentary on this. I think it's Oliver Harper, the YouTuber, had done a really good documentary on it. Thought, I'll check that out. Years go by. Picked it up, total blind buy, because what I do with my anime, right, I'm a game collector, in case you couldn't tell, right? That's my hobby, my main hobby, okay, or one of my main hobbies. And I always have a look, or recently I've been having a look what's in the anime and section, okay, and some of it's really cheap. Like, I don't think I paid much, like £3 or something. Like the look of it. I had no idea it was that movie that I put on my list years ago, kind of thing. And yeah, it's really gory. It definitely says 18. It definitely is an 18, trust me. Don't let your kids watch this. If there's any parents out there watching it, watching this video. Yes, outstanding. Really, really good fun that was. I have to watch that again. But when you see how many animes I've got to get through, yeah. Ruby, I always pronounce this wrong. RWBY. I used to pronounce it WRBY, but it's Ruby, okay? Now, this is a franchise I never heard of until I played BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, and a couple of the characters are like, oh, these are cool. What game? I know they've got their original game, but it's not a fighting game franchise, or it wasn't. And again, I think I was in Cardiff, and I was just looking around. I had the games I originally went for. I thought, I'll just check out the anime section. Saw it, looked pretty good. Got home, put it on. I was very disappointed with the animation and the effects. It doesn't look finished. It looks like it needs the polish. Like there's no shadows, or I haven't watched it for a while. But for example, there'll be, say there's no shadows. You'll be in a crowded room, and only everyone else is just a silhouette, the black silhouette, and only the characters they'll be fully animated, full colour, and I thought that's cheap. It's almost like it's ready for the next stage, the next animator to go in and finish it off kind of thing. That's the feeling I got. Then I watched an episode. I enjoyed it, but it was just so distracting how bad it looked. But then something made me go back to it, and where it shines, okay, is in the combat. You know what I say on some of the other ones, it shies away from the combat, just does the sound effects. This doesn't. You can watch it in slow motion. It really is impressive how the animators have animated the characters. Did I say that right? Yes, I definitely recommend that. And I've actually got in here somewhere season 2. The other good thing with these as well, I wish more anime did this. This is volume 1. You can either watch it in episodes as you normally would, or you can put it into movie mode. And I thought, what's that? Basically, there's no credits, no end credits, because it is quite annoying if you're going to be binge watching. There's 2 ways I watch it, right? So I either I'll watch an episode each night before going to bed, but if I'm in the mood to binge, I'll put it in movie mode, and there's no end credits. It's just like, it's the end of the episode, because it like fades away, kind of on a cliffhanger, and then it'll start again, a quick recap, and you think, it's fine, but then it just takes out all the credits. That's a really good idea. So that's probably the best thing about this, actually, and obviously the combat. The characters are a good laugh as well. Now, this is anime. I'm not sure if Transformers the movie counts as anime, but I'm going to talk about it anyway, because it's my channel, isn't it? Look how cool that cover is. Yes, it's got the slip-on case. Well, that's when I think Transformers, the 80s. Was this 1986? Again, I'm sorry, I'm rubbish with my dates. I can't remember everything, can I? But it's set in, I need to know the date. Yeah, 1986, I was right. And it's set in 2005, the distant future of 2005. I'm not going to tell you what happens. It's quite sad, actually. You can tell, like, basically Transformers, the movie and the series, with those adverts to get the kids to nag their parents, go and get the toys, weren't they? But somebody dies in it, and it's quite sad. But I think they'd sold enough of that character. They wanted the new characters, the new toys to come out. And I think there's swearing in it as well. Either the guy goes, shit, or he says crap. I can't remember, but I was like, what? Did he just say that kind of thing? But yeah, that's a good one. Really, there's loads of extra features. I think this is the latest version that came out. Obviously came out in VHS, DVD, and this is the collector's edition, or 30th anniversary edition. Yeah, I love that film. Okay, back to Berserk then. Where I was saying that the Berserk wasn't the best animated, looks very dated. This is up there with the best looking anime I've ever seen. From the opening scene, it's amazing. It's just like shows the blue sky, the clouds, and if they've animated the birds, and it's like, wow, that's more like it. It's pretty much the same story though as in the series, but I think this is part 1, the Golden Age Arc 1, the Egg of the King. Okay, what was I going to say? Yeah, I think it's 3 parts, and I just saw part 1. You can buy the trilogy, but because I got part 1, I want to buy them separate now, part 2, part 3. So when I see them, yes, I'm gonna pick them up. It's spectacular. And is it Grodd? I always forget his name. When they're in that like temple, and Guts is in there, and he looks like a mutated bull kind of thing, but he's got fur, and the fur is animated. It's amazing, right? It's up there with like no Monsters Inc. Is it Sully? Is it Sully? No, who's the big furry one? Yeah, Sully. And I remember being impressed with all his fur. It's up there with that kind of effect, okay? It's got the wow factor. Oh, that guy there. See him there? I think it's a Grodd. I can't remember. It's an amazing scene. It's good in the books, but then they do it proud by bringing it to life there, okay? Right, I watched this, BlazBlue, Alter Memory. The thing is with the BlazBlue, I love the great games, right? Anything, I'm a big fan of Arc System Works. When I say anything, I wasn't a fan of Guilty Gear Strive, okay? But with the story with BlazBlue, I haven't got a fucking clue what's going on. So I thought, I saw this, again, I didn't go out to buy this. I think, if I remember, this was behind the till. Don't know, in CX sometimes they got normally like the steel books or the more expensive items are either in the window or behind the till. And I was waiting, and I looked like, I said, oh, is that BlazBlue? Oh, I'll get that as well. And it's 2 discs. I've watched it all the way through. I actually watched this. Oh yeah, this is weird. When I first bought my house, when I was actually putting up these Billy shelves, I had this on in the background, so I wasn't sitting down watching it. I gotta be honest, I really struggle to sit down and watch movies or anime or anything. For example, last night and the night before, I'm watching the new Batman movie, and I still can't get through it. I'm watching it. I'm not saying I get bored. It's something to do with my medication, I think. Okay, but again, I'm going off topic. But so with this, right? I needed to be doing something, and the goal was to understand what the fuck's going on with the story. And I can tell you, after watching this, I still don't understand what the fuck's going on with the story. There's so many characters. They're cool. Really, it's funny and stuff. The interactions, and I don't know if this is like halfway through the series or season or whatever. I don't know what's going on. And it's like, oh, you again. And it's like, oh, they've met before. To me, I found it confusing. Maybe it's me. I don't know. God, this is one I've had in my collection for a while. Ghost in the Shell, I should say. Absolutely fantastic. I'm a huge fan of this franchise. When I got recommended this, when I was really into my Deus Ex games, there was a time in my life where that was my favourite game. So it's my favourite game of all time. And someone said, oh, you must enjoy Ghost in the Shell then. And I said, never heard of it. Again, like, it was kind of like that Akira vibe where I'd seen it. Maybe I'd seen on adverts on videos I'd rented or something like that, because who remembers Blockbuster or End Video Shop? All the rentals have really good adverts for upcoming films. So I definitely seen it, okay? And I knew it was highly praised. It won all these awards. I was aware of its existence. But again, I was ridiculously late to the party, and you can see I am a big fan of this series. I liked the live action movie. Maybe the casting wasn't the best, but this is where it's at. This is amazing. Really strongly recommend that. Now this one, mixed feelings on it. Steam Boy. What got me, I don't like the look of it. Like, it's just a guy with a fucking thing in his hand. I don't know, but it's from the makers of Akira, and I think this is what the makers of Akira made after Akira. We'll talk about Akira in a bit, okay? But it's set in England, and I believe he's Yorkshire, so maybe Manchester, that kind of area, I'm not sure. His accent is right, but it's kind of weird, off-putting, I suppose. Visually, it's brilliant, but I wasn't a fan of the story. It's a very safe movie. There's no surprise or anything like that, or twist that I couldn't pick up on. But it's worth a watch, but don't pay over £5 for it. Unless you're an anime collector. Am I wrong? Maybe I've only watched it once. Maybe I need to go back to it, you know. Oh, and we'll do the next 3 all together. I love this. Well, it's trilogy so far. So it's the Legends. So the Mortal Kombat Legends. That's the first one, Scorpion's Revenge. That 10 out of 10. That is absolutely fantastic. Okay. Then we had we had Battle for the Realms. That was the second one. Really good. Really good. And then we had the third one, Snowblind. I like Kano in it. It's quite cool. It's not a trilogy, I suppose. Maybe that's the wrong word to describe it. It's like, what if this happened? It's hard to explain, but like, I'll stay with this one then. It's basically, this one is, what if Kano won the Mortal Kombat tournament? And I think they've got it spot on. There's things I noticed, or what I took away from it, is Kano, he's selfish, isn't he? And he's got all like the newest technology. He's got all these like mods to his fucking armor and stuff like that. And it's all brand new, shiny. So he's like King Kano in it, right? Okay. And so he's the ruler of the world. And so he's having all the money, but everyone around him on his team are scruffy as fuck. So because he's selfish, he wants everything for himself. He wants everyone to worship him and stuff like that. And that's really good, and that's the weakest of the three. Okay, but yeah, definitely recommend. If you're half a fan of Mortal Kombat, yeah, you need to check those out. Right, we'll do the ones I haven't. I'll do these next then. These are ones I'm kind of into, on my way through, I should say. I'm not sure how to explain it. This is the Ghost in the Shell. We'll briefly talk about these. I've done these on a pickups video. I'm only one disc in. I can believe they're £2 each. Okay, I think that's the go-in rate, mind. But it's got, that's in there upside down, clever. They've all got these really cool art cards and stuff in them. Yeah, I'm really impressed with these. But these must be expensive to make, you know. So I've got 7 discs basically. Okay, I'm only disc 1 in. I remember when I bought them, when I put it in, it's 2 discs. It is 2 discs, isn't it? Yeah, it's 2 discs, but there's different audio, I think, on them. It's not like you don't watch that one, then watch that one. You watch one of the discs, it's got different audio or special features or something like that. Or different widescreen. I remember thinking, that's not a con, but it was like, because they're advertising each one is 2 disc. And it's like, right, okay, it's not that much extra features per disc, but I'm happy to have it in the collection. And this one is, I don't know why you stopped watching this, Sakura Wars, the Over collection. Again, I bought this, I think I bought this in Carmarthen, CEX. Most of this has come from CEX. CEX or Amazon is, I think, the only place, or eBay with the Street Fighter collection. So it's a 3-disc collection. I really enjoyed playing through Sakura Wars, and I thought, and a lot of the cutscenes is very different artwork, so you can tell this from an anime. And I thought, well, keep an eye out for that. And I think I might have actually searched for it and saw the Carmarthen had it in stock. So when I got there, like a week later, they still had it in stock. So I thought, yeah, I'll grab that. But there's a lot more characters. This is like a prequel to Sakura Wars. It probably came out before Sakura Wars anyway. Got 2003. But the anime style is really, really cool. I would have said it's like mid to late 90s anime style, because the style changes over the years, doesn't it? But yeah, so it's pack-in design 2003. So maybe I was wrong on that, but that's the vibe I get from watching it, okay? Right, the next pile then is ones I haven't watched. So I haven't watched any of this yet. A bit of it's been in my collection for fucking ages. Naruto, Series 1, Episode 1, the hottest series in recent years. Naruto Uncut. The thing with this, there's so many, like I'm enjoying watching Bleach. I'm only on season 2. But there's 16 seasons. It's almost overwhelming. It's like, do I really want to get into it? I do want to get in. It's hard to explain it, but it's, do you get what I mean? It's overwhelming. It's too big a franchise to get into. And I kind of get that vibe from this as well. But I see a lot of memes and stuff with Naruto. I really like the look of it, but I think I don't want to get into that until I finish Bleach. But the way it's going, it's going to take me a year to finish Bleach. I've got some guys, shout out Liam in work, my last job. I'm not there anymore. He can watch, he'll binge something. He'll watch, I watch a season a day or whatever. So how do you do that? But he loves it. Like every day goes by and getting more and more into it. Well, I can tell I'm a big fan of it by my collection. Yeah, so that's going to sit on the shelf a little bit longer. Okay. Samurai Champloo. That gives me Ninja Scroll vibes, if you look at the back. Again, these are blind buys. I have no idea. They could be fantastic. They could be terrible. But so far, none of the anime I've picked up, blind buys let me down. Like Ninja Scroll, wow, I was hooked. It's very rare where I put it on and I thought I'll do this to have a look on eBay or something. Then I put it down after 5 minutes and I just watched it. Do you know what I mean? It was that good. Heard of this? I think I got the game as well. Afro Samurai. Looks really cool. I bet that is a good thing to watch. 2-disc special edition, director's cut. So again, it's 18, so I'm expecting there will be blood. Again, I haven't watched that yet. Shout out Luxton now. He sold me this. Good couple of years ago now, isn't it, Luxton? He basically we were going game hunting. It must have been Swansea, and he was going to trade it into CEX. And basically he said, if anyone wants it, just give me what they'll give me cash. I'd rather sell it to you than sell it to them or whatever. So he done me a good deal. I've watched, is there a live action on Netflix? I've watched that. But yeah, I don't know why. I have no excuse why I haven't watched it. Do you know what I mean? Just haven't got around to it. But again, similar to Naruto, I don't want to start another big series until I finish. Or even, I might have a break from Bleach when I finish season 2, which might be Christmas, the rate I'm going. Then maybe I'll have a break and binge this, then go back to it, or something like that, you know? Like, for example, The Mandalorian. I love Star Wars. When did the latest one come out? It takes me 3 days probably normally to watch an episode of The Mandalorian. I just can't. It's really frustrating actually, because I love movies. I can go to the cinema and stuff, but I just can't. It doesn't hold my attention, you know. Moving on, RWBY. So this is season 2. I'm 1 episode in so far. My 2 episodes. My expectation, because it ends so good, season 1, it's not as good yet, do you know what I mean? There's not much going on so far, you know? So they've introduced a few new characters, which are pretty cool. Yeah, maybe I'll just have to say, I'm going to watch 1 episode of that a night. That won't take me long. If I put that in movie mode, I can watch that in an afternoon. And the thing is, with Wales now, everyone loves the rugby, and I couldn't give a flying fuck about the rugby. I've never liked it. I used to play a little bit when I was younger. It's our national sport, apparently. But whenever I actually went to Cardiff, I think it was Wales, France, in an international, and I shouted handball. There's a terrible referee. And everyone was looking at me funny. I was like, handball! Yeah, so I'm not the best rugby expert, mind. But, yeah, the referee should have gone to Specsavers, you know. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, maybe I'll watch that this afternoon. Yeah, RWBY 2. Devil May Cry. I've heard good things about this, the animated series. I had no idea it existed until probably 6 months ago, where someone recommended it to me. Saw it. Again, blind. Well, I can't argue blind, but I know what Devil May Cry is. I played the games. So yeah, that looks... should be pretty damn cool. Looks really good animation, actually. Sorry, I can hold it properly. And the last one. Again, this was Bayonetta. This was in Swansea CEX. And I must have been buying a stack of games because I had a good look. And this was like up the back and I couldn't quite see what it was. And I asked, what's that steelbook? It's just the style of it caught my attention. It is stunning, isn't it? And she said, Bayonetta. And I thought, yeah, happy days. Unfortunately, I don't have a GameCube. I've got Bayonetta 1 on the... I think I've got it on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. I think 2 was a Wii U exclusive. I think it's on the Switch now, isn't it? And the third one, oh, it looks so good. That's going to be one of the first games. When I eventually get around to buying a Nintendo Switch, that'll be one of the first games I'll be picking up, let me tell you. Yeah, so that's Bloody Fate, Bayonetta Bloody Fate. Steelbook, it looks fucking brilliant. Again, it's one of those things, I don't really understand the story when I'm playing the games. I'm terrible for skipping cutscenes, mind, but that's my fault. But yeah, I haven't watched that yet. And the best anime by an absolute country mile is Akira. I don't care what anyone says. This is where it's at. This was 1986, I believe. I can't see, but it was mid 80s. And if you watch this and then think of what like Disney was putting out in the mid 80s, this is so light years ahead of anything Disney were doing. Okay, I love the story. I've got all 6 of the books as well. I want to get the box set. Have you seen the big box set? It's around £125 on Amazon, but I've seen it go down for £100. Maybe next year, Christmas or something, I might treat myself or ask, for money towards that or something. But they've done the colour, the hardback books, colour. There's a 7th book as well with the art style and shit like that. Oh, actually, I've got an art book. Just here, one sec. That's one of my art books. So I love Akira. I'm a really big fan of Akira. I do need to get some Akira artwork for the games room. But I gotta be honest, I'm running out of room. I haven't got much. Most gaps I've got now, there's going to be something's going there, So, but I need some Akira artwork in my collection. This is like the special edition, okay, or collector's edition. This is my pride and joy. It's not a steelbook, okay? It's got that slip-on case. Then it's got this slip-on case. Really high quality cardboard. It almost feels like wood. But yeah, so got that. Then it's got the Blu-ray in there. Oh, I love this. This is on Netflix as well, guys. If you haven't watched it, go watch it right now. Then you've got... Oh, I tell you what. I'm going to have to put one of these up in a frame. They're a little bit small, aren't they? Oh, look at these. They're all iconic pictures, aren't they? That's probably my favourite one, mind. It's a reversible cover as well on the Blu-ray. Yeah, so, oh yeah. This is where it's at. When anyone says what's your favourite anime, I don't even have to think. It's like my favourite game of all time is Street Fighter 4. I don't have to think. I know what my favourite anime is any day of the week. Yes, fan-fucking-tastic. And I do recommend, if you enjoyed the movie, I do recommend reading the manga as well. Because if you didn't know, they started filming or making this before they'd finished the books, so they're very different. Like in this, Akira is a child that had the power, isn't it? But his body parts are in these jars, but it's not the same in the books. Okay, maybe it's a spoiler. The child is locked away in this like nuclear fucking bunker kind of thing, and he gets out basically, and it's book after book of how Japan and the world has changed and stuff like that. The book is even better than this, but that's a 10 out of 10, and it's one of those things. I've probably watched it 4 times this year already. It's one of my comfort movies, see, so if I really struggle to sleep, and it's one of those, some movies, only a few, can relax me. It could be a horror movie, but they, like Aliens, relaxes me for some reason. And I'll watch this, and I'm going to watch the background. I always notice there's so much work and effort gone into every single shot of this fucking movie, you know, and you'll always find something different. Oh, I didn't notice that. Oh, look at that. I didn't even see that. And it's like 2 or 3 seconds and it's gone. And it's like someone's animated that. It's incredible. Okay. Yeah. So that's my favourite. If I did ever do a top 3 Thursday on anime, spoiler, it's going to be that. I don't think anything is ever going to get close to it, you know. Okay, so that is my anime collection. Let me know in the comments. Is there any ones you'd recommend? I know I've got a bit on my backlog. There's Dark City, is it? That's another one. But I'm not buying that yet until I've at least got halfway through my backlog, you know. Well, I don't plan to, but I get a bit impulsive sometimes. I go, oh, fuck, I'll just buy it. Yeah, so we'll cut it off there. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hook in that subscribe button if you're new around here. I do post videos probably 3-4 a week. I try to anyway. And yeah, thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.